What is going on, everybody? Welcome on into TTP Sports. The Sixers are playing some very fun brands of basketball right now. They've won their sixth, straight game tonight after beating the Boston Celtics. It got down to the wire very quickly. You thought it was going to be more of a comfortable win for the Sixers, but, it's always against the Boston Celtics. They're one of the favorites in the Eastern Conference for a reason. They made it a game in the final couple of minutes here, a couple of turnovers here and there, a couple of missed shots in those final few by the Sixers allowed the Celtics to get back within reach. I believe it was as low as a 3-point game at some point. Even though that's the way the score finished, it was a 3-point game. Sixers win 106-103. But if you were in a comfortable spot, against the Celtics, it just happened to be that they found a way to wake up a little bit. They go on that, 10-0 run in the final few minutes of the game. Thank God for, Tobias Harris hitting a three, for Joel Embiid hitting that, fadeaway jumper to at least make it enough cushion. And, some very good defense, basically bending but not breaking, is what I like to describe it from the Sixers tonight. Shooting-wise for both teams, it just wasn't the best. Was not the best, especially from beyond the arc. The Celtics, they only shot like above 30. The Sixers shot below 30 from beyond the arc. So, three-point shooting today was not the best for both teams, but Sixers, what I've been seeing from the first 6 games, they lose the first game to Milwaukee. They win 6 in a row after that. What I'm seeing from this Sixers squad, coached by Nick Nurse, it is a billion times better than what Doc Rivers has ever done. They seem more fleshed out. They seem more in rhythm. They seem more focused. They seem like they care a little bit more, and they're willing to give more of that 110%. It just kind of felt like, Nick Nurse actually has a plan out there, and from going back to Doc Rivers, it just kind of felt like he was just, hey guys, you can do it. I believe in you. Go do it. And Nick Nurse actually has a plan out there, and he's putting these guys out, and they're playing with cohesion. And really, it all starts from the two-man game between Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, because those two guys tonight, and basically in these first 6 games of the season, have been absolutely outstanding. These guys were even spectacular tonight. Joel Embiid coming off that 48-point performance, against Washington a couple of days ago. Follows that up with 27 points, hits that huge fadeaway jumper at the end of the game. Like I said, to give you a little bit of cushion there to make it a 106. I believe it was a 5-point game at that point, or a 6-point game. And then, Jaylen Brown eventually hit that, very tough shot beyond the arc to make it a 3-point game. But then Tyrese Maxey, really good. Turnover-wise for Tyrese Maxey, that's the one thing that's been really impressive about Maxey in the first 6 games, with, him taking the reins over basically for James Harden in that, primary ball handler spot. Dude is barely turning the ball over, and he is facilitating with ease. He gives himself, not as many assists as he's had in the past game, but, the way that he's able to find the open man, the way that he's able to set up Joel Embiid down low, or whether it's, Joel Embiid screens him, he drives the basket, puts up a nice little floater, or he just utilizes his speed to get to the basket, Tyrese Maxey, that is. It's just, very fun to watch. And Tyrese Maxey actually chipping into the defense today. I forget who it was. I believe it was either Jaylen Brown or it could have been Porzingis driving the basket. And then here comes Tyrese Maxey with a nice little block off the boards to prevent the ball from going in on the layup. Even Joel Embiid had a nice couple of blocks in there. Tyrese Maxey in this game, he finished with 25 points. He was 11 of 27 from the field. He was basically the Sixers' best shooter from beyond the arc. He took 11 shots, only hit 3 of them. Didn't go to the line that much, but he had 9 rebounds. He had 5 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. So overall, a very efficient game there from Tyrese Maxey. Joel Embiid, 10 of 20 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. He did have 6 turnovers in this game. The turnovers for the Sixers, they were very limited in the first half. I believe they only had like around 5. They do finish this game with, I believe, 12 turnovers in this game total. So they definitely came a little bit more in that end state of the game. D'Anthony Melton was really struggling out there on the court in those final few minutes to close it out, struggling to hit his shots, just running into that aggressive defense at the end from Boston, turning over the ball a little bit there. So it wasn't the best. just looking at this game, Tobias Harris in the first 6 games, just insanely efficient. I believe he's shooting above 60% so far. Just been a really efficient shooter. He had 17 points today, 5 of 12 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. He hits that 3 later on in the game in those final, dwindling minutes of the fourth quarter. It's just overall, right now, this team just feels a little bit more well-rounded. They're getting some contributions off the bench. Oubre has been absolutely fantastic in the first 6 games. He wasn't as flashy as he was in the past couple. He only has 14 points in this game. Just overall for both teams, the shooting-wise just wasn't the best. If you're looking at the highest scorer, basically for both teams combined tonight, it was Kristaps Porzingis. He had 29 points in this game. So Porzingis, Embiid, and Maxey were the only guys for both teams to surpass 20 points. That really just showcased how much both teams struggled to shoot. Jason Tatum, he only had 16 points. He shot 6 of 14 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. Jaylen Brown only shot 4 of 13. He had 11 points in this game, 2 of 7 from 3. So that really showcases it right there. White had 19 points. He was one of their better shooters tonight. Drew Holiday, not the same offensive threat that he used to be, just more of a defensive guy right now. Didn't put up that many shots, though. 4 of 9. He was efficient. 4 of 9 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Puts up the defensive numbers that he's going to put up. He's going to get the blocks. He's going to get the assists and stuff, in the rebounds. So that's not what I'm, firmly shocked of. Hauser gets 13 points off the bench for them, but basically, Al Horford sucked today. 26 minutes. He only put up 3 points. They barely used anyone off the bench. They were mainly using their starting 5. Al Horford, he plays 26 minutes off the bench, but they're mainly using Tatum, Porzingis, Holiday, White, Brown, etc., etc. But if you're looking at the Sixers right now, Batum off the bench, he gives you 5 points. He gives you 4 rebounds, 1 assist. He was actually very solid today. He left the game for a little bit, though, after he went up for a block on the backboard, and his finger did not look pretty. I'm going to be honest with you. His finger didn't look pretty. It looked very hideous. Very hideous. I felt that. I felt the block when you're seeing the slow-mo, the replay, and the way that he jams I believe, one of his index fingers into the backboard. I'm like, oh, God. And then you see him running to the locker room just to try to get it checked out. I'm even shocked that he found a way to finish this game, that he came back and was available. So I have no idea if he just, jammed the finger, he dislocated the finger or something like that, because it didn't look pretty going back to the locker room. It didn't look like it should have been that way. That's just what I'm saying. A finger should not look like that with the way that Batum's looked. But in the first 2 games that he's played so far since the trade, he did have those personal, had the personal leave, so he had to take care of some family business off the court. But, in the first 2 games that he has played, he has been very solid, just efficient guy from the backside. Didn't put up as many points as he did against Washington, but overall very solid in his 26 minutes. Robert Covington, he's basically just there for his defense off the bench. He does put up 5 points. He hits a 3, hits a couple of shots there. 3 rebounds for him. Paul Reed off the bench played 11 minutes. He put up 8 points. Had some, nice plays there as well. Some steals. Had a couple of rebounds. Patrick Beverley put up 2 points. Gets some defensive boards. And then Korkmaz, in the few minutes that he played, he was kind of dreadful, which is not surprising. Even though Furkan has put up some nice minutes in the past few games, honestly, you probably shouldn't have expected him to do anything against this Boston team. So Nick Nurse saw him through whatever that minimal time stretch that he played in the beginning of the game, and he was like, no thanks, Furkan. You are going back to the bench for the rest of the game, and you are not touching this court. That is basically what happened. But still, this is a very impressive win for the Sixers. Very impressive against a top-tier team in the Eastern Conference. Everyone, is in love with the Boston Celtics and what they did with the offseason. Porzingis was really good today. But overall, for both teams, the shooting was just absolutely dreadful. So that is just one thing there. It's just amazing how poor both teams were shooting. The Celtics as a team, they shot 39% from the field and 31% from 3. The Sixers as a team shot 44% from the field and 26% from 3. So that just shows the go-you how bad the shooting was today. But I like the aggressiveness and the pace that the Sixers team plays with on defense. They get into the faces of other people, and it's just, something that's very spectacular and very fun to watch, in my opinion. Man, it's just I don't know if you guys noticed a little cut there, but like during the when I was recording in those last few seconds, my phone started ringing, so I just paused the entire thing. Was my buddy that went to the game decided to call me, just like share his reaction because he was excited after the win. So Trey, if you're if you're watching this after you walk into the house when this is uploaded, there you go, your little shout out right there. He was just calling me, just trashing the Celtics and all that stuff, trashing Porzingis. It's a it's a great thing, when the Sixers actually make us happy and they actually make us find a way to believe. Our 6-1 76ers, first place in the Eastern Conference right now. It feels fun again. I know a lot of us during the offseason weren't really, happy for the Sixers, coming back and all that stuff just because of all the drama that was circulating the team, i.e. James Harden and all that stuff. But now Harden's gone. The team under Nick Nurse right now, especially we know the two-man game between Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid looks insanely fun to watch. It just is. The way those two, their chemistry that has been working, whatever Nick Nurse is just doing, or it's just natural-born chemistry between these two guys, and just the ever-growing advancement of Tyrese Maxey. We just think that, he finds ways to take steps year in and year out. He put some solid stuff up in his rookie season, showed some flashes. Sophomore season, he took a next step, got it to be a better shooter. Last year became even a better shooter. And this year, when he's put into a position to be the primary ball handler because James Harden is a fraud and quote unquote he is the system, we also can't forget that Tyrese Maxey is taking that in stride. He is completely blowing away the expectations that any of us had for him being the primary ball handler, because getting put into that type of position when he is just so young in this league, and even though, he's been in the league for a bit of time right here, he's had his nice dip into the water, dipping his toes into the water in the league. I don't know why I use that as an analogy, but work with me here. But he's been in the league for a little bit here. That's just basically my entire explanation. To think that, him showcasing in the past few years with the way that he's able to make separation and the way that he's able to utilize his speed, be a threat from beyond the arc, that's just, now he's adding passing to his game. He's adding ways to open up the court, to get guys open, to find a way to make that, hard, difficult pass that maybe you didn't think he was going to make, where he finds Joel Embiid down low, where maybe he drives the basket and he finds someone open in the corner to where they can put in the three. Nice, easy bucket there. Or Tyrese Maxey does what Tyrese Maxey does, and he just, brings out all the energy. And that's just amazing to me that every single year he finds ways just to get better. He definitely did improve under Doc Rivers, but who knows what's going to happen under Nick Nurse, man, because so far in these first, 6-7 games, it's been absolutely amazing seeing from Tyrese Maxey and all that stuff. Just specifically this two-man game, because we all know what Joel Embiid's going to do. He's going to dominate every single night. Nick Nurse, he's played against Joel Embiid so much, being, the coach for the Toronto Raptors. He knows the ins and outs of Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has been an MVP caliber player for the past few seasons. I don't think that's going to go away for a little bit. So we all know what Joel Embiid is capable of. Now that you add Tyrese Maxey taking another step, Tobias Harris, is he going to be able to keep up this efficiency as the season goes along? Maybe that's a possibility under a new head coach that, wants you to go out there and give it your all. And, Tobias Harris getting some open looks, being very sharp on defense as he always is. So we'll see if that continues for him. Oubre, he's a guy that could put up points in this league. It's still shocked to me that no one really took a flyer on him in the offseason, but hey, he's here to prove a purpose, and he's definitely a guy that Philadelphia fans would fall in love with. He just showcases his energy, and once again, he's a guy that, gives 110%. That's what the Philly fans want to see. And then you add some of those nice guys off the bench. You bring back Rocco just for, the feels and all that stuff. That's always fun to see. Pat Beverly brings the energy. He's not going to dominate you on the court, but he's going to be a nice veteran presence out there off the bench. Paul Reed, to see what his progression could be off the bench. And Batum, another nice veteran presence that you can just, rotate in and out of the bench whenever you need to. Just overall, man, Right now, there's a lot of depth with this team. They're playing with a lot of cohesion. They're playing with a lot of energy. They're playing with a lot of aggression. And I like the way that Nick Nurse is doing everything right here. It just feels different right now. It just feels different. It feels fun. It feels fun. The Sixers team is very fun to watch. I'll admit it. I wasn't expecting that coming into the season because of, all the crap that happened in the offseason. But I am frankly enjoying myself. I'm enjoying myself watching this team play. And they probably made a statement today, winning their first game against the Boston Celtics. Man. Fun game, man. Even though it wasn't the prettiest for both teams. Still a very impressive win for your 76ers. So, that's going to do it for tonight, everybody. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It does me a great deal of service. Also, use the code TTPSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. Get yourself down to the Wells Fargo Center for any Sixers game. Even, look for Sunday for Eagles and all that stuff. Home games at the Link, or even Flyers games if you want to dove yourself in that. So, great deals you could probably find here. It takes $20 off that purchase. Avoids the fees, basically. It's a good time always. Why not go down to the Farg for something, have some fun watching the Sixers team play. So, and also, once again, thank you guys for joining tonight. I'll upload more Sixers content as the days go along. Probably more in the recording phase, just depending on the day. Maybe we'll put in a live stream here and there. We are going to have the live stream for the Phillies tomorrow, so definitely stay tuned for that. But for now, like I said, thanks for joining tonight, everybody. I'll see you next time.